We all love stories, don't we? But some stories are different. And we have to be a little careful in sharing few stories in our life. Let me share one example, because recently I heard a story which I think people who shared this story, they should have been a little careful in sharing this story. I remember I was sitting with few students and we were enjoying our dinner, and suddenly in the middle of the dinner one student said, "Sir, I noticed you travel a lot and I saw your videos, you take lift from strangers, so please don't do that." I said, "Why, what happened?" He said, "It's risky, sir." So I asked him, "Okay, if someone is asking lift to you, will you say no to that person?" He said, "Yes, of course, it's risky. I will never give lift to any stranger. I will never do that in my life." I said, "Why are you saying that? Anything happened with you?" He said, "No, not with me, but my dad shared a true story with me on this." I said, "Okay, tell me that story." And he said, "My dad said, he shared this story one day, that this happened with his dad." So I said, wait a minute. So this not happened with your dad, it happened with your grandfather." He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, the older the story, the better it is." So his grandfather sharing this story with his father. And his grandfather said that in his village, there were two brothers. I said, "Wait a minute. So this not happened with your grandfather. This happened in the village where your grandfather used to live." Okay. So his grandfather said there were two brothers living in this village. And one day, the elder brother was supposed to go to another village to bring money. He had to pick some money from someone. But the elder brother was a little ill that day, so he requested his younger brother that, "Will you go?" And younger brother said, "Why not?" So instead of elder brother, younger brother went to that village to pick money, and he was supposed to come back by the evening. And by evening he came back. But when he came back, opened the door, the elder brother got surprised when he saw his younger brother standing with completely drenched in sweat. The blood is coming from his head, the buttons are completely off, and one can easily sense that this guy had a bad fight with someone. And then the younger brother said, when he was coming back from that village with money, one stranger was standing on the road. Stranger was asking for a lift. For a moment, he said, "I thought I should not give." But then I thought, why not? Why not to help people? And he decided to stop. And he gave lift to that stranger. But when stranger noticed that he has money, he fought with him. He had a knife. And then he said, "I could not manage this guy because he was well built, far stronger than me. And finally, he robbed me. He took all my money and he ran away." I said, "Okay, that's a sad story." Then out of curiosity, I asked this student, "So what happened after this incident?" He said, there were few people in that village who believed that yes, this thing happened. There was a stranger, there was a robbery, and this guy lost all his money. But there are also few people, including the elder brother, who had doubt on this story, and they thought maybe not. And this guy, the younger brother, might have changed his mind after watching all this money. And maybe, so they were not very clear whether this story is true or not. But the question is not that whether this story is true or not. The question is this, or the concern is this. This student with whom I was enjoying my dinner, his grandfather shared this story several times in his family. His father shared this story several times in his family. Now this child, who's around 20-21 years old, sharing this story. And I'm very sure in this last 3 generations, because of this story, no one would have given lift to stranger on the road. Stories are powerful, they can change belief. This one simple story has changed belief of maybe around 50 to 60 people of this family of last 3 generations. So next time when you share a story, be careful, because stories can change beliefs of generations. This is Praveen Wadalkar signing out. Until we meet again with a new story.